During this demonstration, I'm going to show you how to fill out or draw your bridge truss design technical drawing. And of course, like any other paper, you want to make sure you put your name and hour at the top here. Of course, that's in that spot right there. The point value, this is a 20-point assignment, as indicated right there, and that's of course for me to fill out. And the first question says, what kind of truss design will you use? And I give you some ideas here: Warren, Pratt, Howe, or K-truss, or it can be a combination truss. So you can have like a modified Warren truss. Well, let's just keep things simple right now and say that I'm going to use a Warren truss. Okay. Now it says explain why you chose this design, and that's going to be completely up to you. So I'm not going to fill that out. You could just, it could be something as simple as, well, I like the way it looks, or I think it's going to be the best chance at getting a good weight test on it, or giving a good test result. That's completely up to you. Okay. Now number 3 says draw a side view of your bridge. It says note each block represents 1/4 of an inch. And it says use a pencil and a ruler. Notice I have a pencil. Now, if you don't have a pencil, you could use a pen, but realize that pens are a little harder to erase typically. So you can always print out another sheet, but why not use a pencil and go ahead and erase when needed. All right, so one of the biggest questions I get when people are filling this out is, how do I apply this, each block represents 1/4 of an inch to this grid? I'm going to zoom in here a little bit and show you just that. So when I zoom in here real tight, try and keep my focus here. There we go. If you look real close, I can count these blocks. Now, the biggest thing you need to remember is each block representing 1/4 inch. So the question I always ask everybody is, if that is the case, if each block represents 1/4 of an inch, it's not actually 1/4 inch on this paper. So if I were to take a ruler, like this one right here, and measure 1/4 inch, each block obviously isn't 1/4 inch, it's much smaller. But each block represents 1/4 of an inch, that's called scale. So what we're going to do here is count blocks. If each one of these are 1/4 inch, that means each block of 4, or each set of 4 blocks, is equal to, of course, 1 inch. So if I want to make a bridge, I'm just going to keep it simple right now. I'm going to keep it 8 inches. And the reason I chose 8 inches is because if you look at the bottom here, that is between 7 and 9 inches. My length, my height needs to be between 2 and 5. My width needs to be 2 and 4. If it's not, you're going to lose points. And we don't want to do that, of course. So starting from right here, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, make a mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, make another mark. And I'm going to continue to do that until I get to my 8 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And double check, make sure I counted right. Very good. Okay, so there is my start point, and there's my end point. Now, the height range says at the bottom between 2 and 5. Well, I'm just going to make it for simplicity. I'm going to say 3 inches. So I'm going to go up 4 blocks there. Another 4 is 2 inches, and another 4 is 3 inches. So you can see that as long as I am within this little rectangle, I am good. Okay, now it's just a matter of designing my bridge and what I want it to look like. And that is completely up to you. Now that's pretty lopsided. These two trusses are bigger than this one, so that's not necessarily a good bridge design, but again, this is just for a quick sample. Okay? And then I always like to label it, so this is going to be 8 inches, and then you can count your 4, 4, 4, that's 3, 4, 5, and that looks like 2, so this is going to be 5 1/2 inches up here. Okay? And then of course you can get the height as well by counting your blocks. Okay, now the top view. People always get a little confused on the top view. If you're not sure how to do the top view, what you're going to do is, again, make sure that you have, the length is 8 inches. So we want to see what this is going to look like from the top. And the easy way to do this, I'm going to zoom out a little here to show you. I'm going to take a straight edge or a ruler, and I'm going to line it up like this. I'm just going to make a quick little mark like that. Going to do the same thing right here. That gives me my length, so they're identical. And then my bridge range size says 2 inches to 4 inches on the width. So I'm going to make mine 3 inches just for simplicity here. And if I zoom in, you're going to see that I can go counting blocks of 4. So I'm starting here and I'm going to there. And then I like to use a ruler just to make things a little bit straighter. Okay. Now, people always ask me, well, what is this supposed to look like on the top? Well, that's up to you to decide because this is your bridge design. One of the things that I would recommend is that you have an opening here. I'm just going to draw a circle to represent that threaded rod going through the middle. And the threaded rod is going to be about the size of your pencil. So just again, for simplicity, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of make a truss like that. And you can look at ideas online. You can look at some samples I have here in the lab. Erase that, make that a little straighter. There we go. Okay, so there's no rules against using a truss design like that for both the side view and the top view. It's completely up to you. And don't forget to go, or don't be afraid, I should say, to go through multiple drafts to make sure that you completely understand and are comfortable with your design, because you're going to use this in the next step to actually put your bridge together.